Hello and welcome to GoodCast, a podcast produced by Goodwill, North Central Texas. We have a very special episode for you today, so I want to just hop right into it. You may be familiar with our E-Squared program, which gives Tarrant County youth ages 16 to 24 the opportunity to earn their GED and a paycheck at the same time. We recently brought the program to our Airport Freeway Career Center, so we thought it would be really cool if we had a roundtable discussion between students and instructors to talk about the ins and outs of the program, what works for them, and to give them a little advice. It was a really great discussion, and I hope you enjoy it.
My name is Jaquan Porter.
My name's Lily. I'm 19, and I've been in the program since November-ish, so 3 months.
My name is Antiana Manigault. I'm 24, and I've been in the program for probably 4 or 5 months.
So, how'd y'all hear about E-Squared?
I actually heard through a friend that didn't complete it, and she told me oh, it's a good program, you should get into it, and I always wanted to get my GED.
Was there a reason that high school didn't really work for you?
I was bad, and I did whatever I wanted to do.
Was the structure wrong, or the people wrong?
Probably the way I grew up, for real. I stayed with my dad. My real mom was in and out of jail, and my dad's wife, she probably wasn't the nicest to us, but made this picture we're a big family. So it was the way I grew up is I don't know, I just chose to do whatever I wanted to do. It
just didn't work out for you?
Yeah, it just didn't work out for me.
Okay. So what made you want to get your GED though?
I like warehouse jobs or stuff like that. So I feel like with your GED, because they always, if you want to go up higher, say you want to be a supervisor or something, you're going to need something like that, like high school diploma or GED or some type of something behind your name to where you can go up instead of them just not denying you for a different position or something like that.
Okay. So were you just kind of chilling at home? Did you have other jobs before you came here, or what kind of stuff were you up to?
I did. I worked a couple of places, I mostly warehouse. I did fast food, don't like that. I was doing a warehouse job, and I really wasn't, it wasn't stable. It wasn't a job that was, I would lose a job and then have to try to go find another job. And then this world right now, it's hard to get a job. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay, let me go do this. And then they give you a job with it. And then they do this. And then they help you. So, okay, I'm going to go do that.
Okay. So give you a good starting point.
Yeah, a starting point. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sure. How about you?
My mom heard about the program. I'm not sure how, but she told me about it because I dropped out of high school in my junior year, just because the teachers weren't teaching, the students that I was surrounded with it wasn't helping me learn. And I think because of such a big school setting, I didn't feel comfortable asking for help because there were so many people, or right. If that makes sense at all. And I don't remember. I didn't have a job. I didn't go to school. I didn't do anything. I laid in bed all day, and I low-key felt like a loser. I was just I need to do stuff for my mom because she's struggling. I need to do stuff for my sister. I need to be an example. So yeah.
So do you think the school having such a huge population, was it too crowded, and so you felt like you weren't really getting the focus that you needed?
Kind of, yeah. And I have ADHD really bad, and okay. I think I low-key have autism, so it's I need a specific type of help, and I have a hard time asking for it, and so I'd be the one time I would be hey, can I get some help? They'd be okay, you do this and this and this and this and this. And I'm okay, well, I didn't learn anything just then. So, yeah.
The pacing's all wrong.
Yeah, okay. Everything about it.
Okay. So what's it been like being in the program so far?
It's good. It's really good. I don't feel rushed or pressured to get my work done in a certain amount of time or anything. But that doesn't make me do whatever I want or do it wait to do it to the last minute or whatever. I just feel like I can do what I can do right now, and whatever I can't do, I can, I don't have to, like, there's not a need to, like, do anything, Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But
like you don't feel like you're falling behind because you're kind of working at your own pace. And you have the youth specialist to, like, help keep you accountable. Right. Exactly that. Okay. How about you?
Same, really.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more of a step at a time, because if everything get the hitting all in my head at one time, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to be upset. I don't know what about, but it's just not going to work out for me. So I'm a one step at a time, and then they don't rush you. They take your time, do this, do you need this, and, step at a time, right?
Yeah. So how do y'all like the schedule? Like the schedule? Class half the day, work half.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like actually perfect. Yeah. I love it, and I like that. I like that it's school and work at the same time. I like that. I like that it's not like, oh, I have to go to school for a whole day, and then after the whole 8 hours of school, I have to go to work, and then I'm not home till like 9 o'clock at night, and then I don't have any of the day left. Like it's. I think it's perfect. I like it.
And then also after you do the youth program, and then you do the work, after you graduate, you are eligible to actually have a job with them still after, you done did everything. So I think that's good too, man.
Would y'all want to, like, stay within the Goodwill system, or would you, like, want to do one of the, like, certifications and try to bounce to a different field or keep going to school? Like,
see, that's a good question, because I don't know what I want to do, but I did want to do, like still, like, certification, like something. But I know y'all got CDL. I know they got CDL. I know they got all these different programs. I would like to do that.
Medical front office.
Yeah, medical something. I don't know. I like to do that too.
I'm also not sure what I want to do. I don't even know, like, a general, like, field of what I would want to go into. What was I gonna say?
Okay. But also, like, with that, like, kind of self-paced thing you're talking about, like, you're not being pressured to decide right.
Right.
Because that's, I don't know. When someone's, like, trying to, I don't like being micromanaged. Right. Yeah. When someone's trying to, like, constantly tell me, like, what step to do and the exact way to do it, like, I kind of shut down a little bit.
Really?
Like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. I swear.
Because you're both Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like they're kind of helping you figure that stuff out, or?
Yeah. For sure. Miss Carol is great. She is great. She is a bubbly person. She always smiling. She is great for real. She really is. Like, I swear, when she found out I got into, like, because you have to get into the workforce program for you to get, like, the job thing back there. Whatever. She found out I get in. She texted me, and when I seen her, she was just smiling. I knew she was smiling about the same thing she texted me about. But I'm like, okay, this is just who she is. So I like the fact that she always happy. Like, you would never see her just down. For real.
And from, like, a youth specialist position, like, what role are you trying to fill here? What kind of support are you trying to offer the students?
Just basically assist them with whatever they need as far as education standards, or if they need assistance with everyday life, like finding resources, finding transportation, or, if anything's going on at home and it's something I can assist with, I can also help them with that as well. So I kind of look at it as like a caseworker / family member in a sense.
Because, it is very, like, personalized, right? Yeah. Like, everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be willing to, like, work with them and meet, like, both y'all's expectations.
Yeah, definitely. And it can get very difficult. I know sometimes you do have to set boundaries, because even though you kind of act as that role of whatever family member, you still have to create that boundary, because you're also, at the end of the day, trying to just help them get to where they need to go.
How do y'all, like, keep going forward on days where you're like, man, I'm just not feeling it? Like, I don't really want to be here. Like, what's that thing that pushes you to keep coming?
To me, it's the different stuff. Like, we don't have to just, like, today in class we highlighted paperwork. It was nothing major, but it just something to occupy our mind. And then after that, then we got on the computer. Then we start doing our lessons. Then we start, it's the different things that we can do. Like, I'll be like, okay, because if I'm not feeling it today, she'll probably let me do something slight. And then I'll probably have to get to work later, but after the break or whatever, because we do get a break like around 10:30. We get here at 9. So I feel like the different activities or different things, it's always not the same thing.
Right.
And then she'll get you excited to come, like especially on a Friday, be like, oh, we're having this, we're doing this, the artists and students coming. Yeah, and we do, different stuff, just different activities basically.
Honestly, I will say so far I have not gotten that. Like,
Okay.
And I've never been like crazy about work or school. Like, anytime I'm waking up, I'm like, I'd much rather just sleep. But like honest to freaking whoever, like I get up and I'm like, okay, whatever. But once I'm like on the way, I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at it. Like, this isn't something that I would like go to sleep over. I don't know. I like going to work and I like going to school. It makes me feel good, first of all. Like, it makes me feel like I'm being productive and like not just like watching the world go by. But also, like, I have friends. Like, my youth specialist is a really good like motivational person. Like, and I don't feel any pressure. Like, and the schedule is good. Like, I like having like, okay, this is what I do now. 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 And that's what this is. And I love that. And it's perfect.
What kind of like expectations do you have for either like an instructor or the youth specialist? Like, what kind of support do you want from them?
Okay, see, we're getting a new teacher. Our other teacher was great, but whatever reason, they're not here. Anyways, I expect that teacher to be okay. Introduce himself to or herself. I don't know if it's a girl. Introduce him or herself to us. Let us know. And then we always used to do like, because most people's subject that they kind of be messed up with or is math. So we always like do a practice run or something like that. So more of, I would like them to explain before they just get in and get to telling. I don't like people to just tell me what to do, basically. So I like it to be more of a, okay, hi, this is me. I'm gonna be here every day now, and okay, let's start with this. If y'all need help with this, let me know. Like, I like stuff like, come on, soft.
It's like a conversation.
Yeah, like a conversation, more of a conversation. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm personally am very like if I'm scared, I'm not gonna raise my hand. I'm not gonna like come up to you like while anything is happening. Like, I will wait till everyone's out of the room and I'll be like, hey, I had a question about this. So like, I know it's hard because nobody can like read your brain, but I like somebody who will just like go around and be like, are you struggling with anything? Like, if there's anything right now that I can help you with, what would it be? And then I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. Like, I don't like taking initiative and being like, hey, like, I need help. So yeah, just like someone very attentive and like, and I don't know the word, not respectful, but like respectful of like what everyone needs for them. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like trusting you to make your own decisions.
Right.
Like how best you need assistance.
Exactly.
Okay. Y'all mentioned life skills classes. What are some of the things you picked up from those specifically? Or what would you want to learn from like a life skills thing?
Quite literally everything there is to know about anything, like doing anything in the world. Like literally anything. Like, it could be like, oh, here's how you fix your AC. Like, I don't care. Like, I just want to know how to do things. Like, and not have to. I don't know.
What are some important like soft skills that you think a young adult would need, like coming into independence and stuff?
Learning how to change a tire.
Okay.
I know how to change a tire. I do.
Changing tire, change oil in particularly.
I know we've had folks come by and talk about like budgeting before.
Budgeting,
like
yes.
money management.
Yes, we did talk about that actually. I'm acting like I don't know nothing. We had to chase people come over, and we talked about that while we had donuts. Like I be remembering the donuts, and I forget but we had to chase people come over there, and we talked about managing and how you can get a bank account and but yeah, we talked about that money management and investments and scamming and all that.
I mean, it's hard out here, right? Stuff is expensive. Like
It is.
I don't know, even just like, you know, when I was trying to find like my first apartment, right? Like navigating that space by yourself, it's kind of tough, right? Like, and then it's like signing all these like agreements and contracts.
And then you gotta make sure you keep your paperwork, because people don't be like, I ain't gonna say the apartment I stay in, but where I stay, they don't keep nothing. They change their office people like literally every month, like every 2 to 3 months, and then they say you owe this, you owe that, because they paperwork ain't right in the office, because that's why that person got fired. I hate that. That's something I do not like.
From like a job finding, like for after the program, right? Have y'all worked on like your resumes and stuff at all?
I have not.
Not yet.
I have not. I got little resumes on Indeed.
So to that point, it's something that our support specialist does. So
the
Diana,
one that come get us?
yes.
Yeah,
So Diana is the one
yeah.
that assists you with that, because her role is to help navigate you into transition you from the education part
she helped
to the
me.
sustained career part. So she's the one that's supposed to help you, you know, with all that.
Okay,
So you probably just haven't gotten to that stage. Right, exactly. So
Yeah, you haven't
that's
gotten
okay.
to that stage.
You haven't gotten to the stage where the part where you're meeting with her to develop.
Yeah, I met with her already. I forgot.
Okay. Is there any of that stuff that you're like nervous about, or you're like, I have no idea, like I don't know how to do a job application, I don't know how to do.
Oh, I mean, really, I remember learning job applications, you know, learning to write your signature when they say signature and not, you know, write your name, you know. So, I mean, I think that part is good. So, that's it.
I don't know. It's all pretty scary. Like, I know how to like apply for a job and stuff, but it's always been like fast food, like Taco Bell. Like, that's not like serious, you know.
So what are some ways as a youth specialist that you're able to help like ease those fears? Like, how do you encourage your students?
I normally tell them about my life experiences, with whether I'm applying for a job application or filling out a resume or even going to my first interview. I let them know my successes and my failures of that to kind of get them a little bit more comfortable. Because, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, I know we're youth specialists, but we're also human. We're also people. Some of us may have been in their same exact shoes. So it does give them the ease of knowing that it is going to be okay. You succeed and you fail.
So what's the hardest part about this program?
I don't really see it as hard. I feel like maybe the only thing that would make it like not hard but like different than what I'm used to from like high school and stuff is that like it's very much like you're on your own pace, like you do your thing or whatever, and you don't really do anything else with other people except for like if you work. That's the only reason I met her, you know. So, but it doesn't make it like hard or anything. It's just like oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, because we didn't really interact like during class.
Right.
But when we got to work, you know, you get getting in there, don't know what to do, but we know we all three came in together. It's one more of a, you're not gonna do that. But we know we all came in together, so they got us talking, and now we be talking. Now we make friends. That's probably the only thing, like, if you don't, because in class, it's not really just quiet, but sometimes it is. Like, if you walk in the classroom, it be quiet. But that's because everybody is doing their own thing.
Right.
Like, somebody doing something over here, somebody doing on the computer. And most of the time, that's the best way. That's for them to see our progress. And that's why we do our lessons on the computer, for them to see our progress. And so forth and so on.
Is it like intimidating to try and connect with other students in class? Kind of like you were saying, right? Like you're not gonna ask the instructor for help if you're nervous, right?
No, yeah. I mean, in class, yes, but only because me personally, like if it's a quiet room and like how we're sitting, like it's all very individual. I'm not gonna do any. I'm not making the first move at all.
Mm.
Like, so yeah, it is harder in the classroom, but like I was fully convinced like I'm not gonna make any friends, and I'm okay with that. But like it's just not gonna happen. And then once I started work, boom, like.
Yeah, because I know like study groups are a thing that happen in some of our other courses, like the English learning one. They have like study groups and they'll go over course material together. It's a little difficult when you're like all in different places, right? But
see, for me, it's not harder to like talk to people because I talk to the people around me. It's hard for me to stop talking. I talk to the people that's like around me, but. Like she sit like I sit in the first 2 rows. She sit in the last 2 rows. So I didn't really see her. So she come in, I'm already sitting in the front. I'm not really paying attention to nobody because I got my own little space. But I talk to the people around me, or if somebody next to me and I see them doing something that's wrong, I'm gonna let them know like that's not right, and I can explain to you how it's wrong. But
I would like that, like bigger, just like groups in class.
Yeah,
I would like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I'm really to myself.
But like if it's like a subject that you mentioned, like math, right, being the thing that's hard for a lot of people. It might be nice to be like, hey, like these 3 people are having a tough time with this specific type of math. Like maybe we get them together, they can bounce ideas off each other and stuff. Like that could be like a good thing to include.
That's why usually the teacher do a practice message. Say we got 2 math papers, so we go in, we grab the papers or whatever, and them are our lessons for the day. Because sometimes we don't just do the computer. We do like on paperwork with pencil and paper, and we grab the paperwork. One of them is practice for us to do as a whole, and then one of them is for us to do as ourselves, and then we backdoor and we do it all together. So, the teachers before, they always make sure that you're able to, like, if you don't understand, we're going to go over it more than twice.
I love that.
More than once, more than twice, so that you'll get the hang of it. And if you don't, then they'll walk up to you and talk to you, explain to you more if you need that type of help, because some people do need that type of help, and that's okay. Everybody not the same. Everybody don't learn faster or learn. People learn in different ways, basically.
What's like a piece of advice that you would give to someone who was like, I kind of want to get my GED, or I heard about this program? Like, what would you do?
I would literally tell them, do it. Like, go try to do it. Don't be standoffish. Don't go in there and don't have an attitude, because these people are professional people. They will talk to you. They will help you. They will look out for you, basically, in a professional setting, but they will look out for you. They will try to see what's wrong. They will, if you're having a bad day, probably sit you to yourself if that's what you need, And I think I would tell them to do it. I would most definitely tell them to do it.
I've already recommended it to a few of my friends, because I have like 2 friends that have also dropped out, and I tell them about it all the time. I'm like, it's so good. It's exactly what you need. Even for 600 different people, it's exactly what you would need. Like, you can go to school, you can work, and you can go to school and not have to go to 600 different classrooms in 8 hours and sit with other people that are distracting you. Like, I would recommend it like 1,000% to literally anyone who was wanting to get their GED.
And you feel like the people here care about you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I was like, did you see me smiling? I do not smile like that, but Miss Carol, she just brings a smile out of me, and I hate it, but I love it. It's not like a hate, it's like be smiling.
No, but really, everyone is so sweet. Like, I've had people who I've never seen before come up to me and say, hey, how you doing? How's your day today? And I'm like, it's great. Thank you for asking.
I literally walked past the office right here. I don't know what was wrong. I just needed something sweet. I see somebody like with a bowl. And I'm like, excuse me, can I have a piece of candy? They was like, yeah, sure, come in, come get the candy.
But that can make a difference, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it really can, because I really wanted a piece of candy.
I'm going to turn it around on y'all now. So if you have questions. If you don't have any questions.
Oh, God.
Dude,
We'll try it. We won't make it go too long, because we've been here for a little bit now. So.
Would you like to go first?
okay, let me find the one I want to ask. What led you guys to work for Goodwill?
At first, I didn't even know Goodwill like had a program like this particularly. Every time I see Goodwill anywhere, it's always like a donation site or a retail store. So when I applied and I seen that, they have like a program that specifically help with the youth get their GED, I was like, okay, cool, because I have my degree in psychology, so helping the youth is kind of like my specialty. So I was like, okay, well, let me read up on it, and then as I read up on it, I like what they do. I enjoy what they do. So I applied, and then Jordan gave me the opportunity to be here to talk to you right now.
For me, I was specifically, before I was here, I was at Target. I was at Target for 8 years, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I've pretty much given what I've given to them. I want to actually now go somewhere where I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose.
Right.
And I do believe that for me personally, I think that when you are, it's important to operate within that purpose. I think we all have a purpose regardless of, who or whatever higher power you believe in. I do believe that everyone, has a purpose. So when I was specifically looking for jobs, I was just in general looking for jobs where I can work with youth. And so that is when I saw, Goodwill, and just like Han, I saw what Goodwill did, and I was like, wait, what is a youth specialist?
Right.
Right? And so I was like, Goodwill, youth specialist. What? Right. So I applied for it. So that's the job that I applied for. And then I got an interview from Teresa, who at the time was the supervisor of just this program.
Yeah.
And I applied for that, which is basically what Juan, Carol, and Denise do. Interestingly enough, I say that the job found me. I didn't find a job because the youth specialist is not the job that I ended up getting offered. So I ended up getting offered what was called a transition specialist, which is very similar to what Diana does. And that's what I started out. That's what I started out as. And so that's kind of how I got into the job. I was just looking for just like jobs with youth.
Right.
I think what's more important is that what kept me here though is I would say about like one of the main things that Teresa told me is that anytime that you work for the East Grade program, each staff member has that one student that kind of keeps them here, that kind of makes them realize that, okay, you are, operating in your purpose. And so I had that one student about 6 months in. This student was struggling a lot, and, I'm not going to go into detail, but he was struggling a lot. And he goes out into the world, and what he tells people is that I saved his life. So when you hear that, it's like the promotions don't matter, the pay doesn't matter, something like that, because y'all's life is so much more important than any amount of money that I can make. So that's pretty much what led me here and what's kept me.
Wow, this is beautiful. It really is. Would you have done anything differently? And if you would have, what would it have been?
You can go first this time.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I would have done something different. The one thing that comes to mind is that when I was in, specifically, I went to community college first in Dallas, and then I transferred from community college to Texas Tech University. I was in college for a total of 8 years. I did not have I didn't go to school for like a medical degree or anything like that. There's no reason I should have been there for 8 years.
No, for real.
I wasted my time. I basically, I'm trying to find the wording here. I squandered my time, So when I was in community college, I said, I want to go to Texas Tech. I'm ready to get out here. So, I did what I was supposed to do. I had a high GPA and everything. And that's exactly what I did. I transferred to Texas Tech, but that was also the problem. All I did was transfer there, right? My goals weren't set up to set me up for success when I got there. My goal was to get there. And that's exactly what I did. So the point is that what I would have done differently is kind of made my goals more open-ended, so that way I didn't have to be there for as long as I did.
Right.
But at the same time, we live through our mistakes and we learn from those mistakes. I don't regret the time through any of my college because I learned a lot while I was there. So
Right.
To your point, I would have I would have changed my goals and I would have been more intentional with that.
For me, I would say something kind of similar to Jordan. I would say more of the timeline of my goals. When I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I didn't really have no direction or no like counselors to kind of help me and direct me on what I need to do after. So after I graduated, I was like, well, what do I do now? So everybody, of course, was going to get their master's degree. So I felt like I was pressed and rushed to go and get a master's degree without actually researching everything that comes with a master's degree. So now that I got that master's degree, now I realize that I got to go get licensure. I have to go get certifications. I have to go and get all of that, which is things that I didn't know. So now, at that point in time, I was in a space to where I was like, well, I don't know what to do now.
Right.
So I guess for me, it would kind of be more of what I've done differently would be to kind of do a little bit more research and not try to work on everybody else's time.
What advice would you give someone my age?
Make the mistakes now.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing I could tell you is to make the mistakes now. Because they're going to bite you later on, but you won't be like old and fragile and can't do nothing about it at that time. You'll still have time to correct those mistakes.
Right.
I would say, kind of to backdoor on what Juan said, understand that like those mistakes, like it's okay. And I know like for 19, right? 24, you're 19. Sorry. Either way, there's gonna be a lot of people in the world that because you're young, they're going to essentially kind of subconsciously put you in this box, right? It is your responsibility to move in your own purpose. When you make those mistakes, though, it's like you have to understand that you're a human being. You're gonna make those. The best thing to do is don't get so boggled down by those mistakes. That does not define who you are. What defines who you are is what you do after those mistakes.
Right.
To make a mistake is to be human. I mean, that's really all it is. We all do that.
Right.
Everybody here, we all do that. So I would say, just continue to move in the way that you see fit. And if you make a mistake, just say, all right, cool, I messed up. Like, this is what I did. And take accountability for it.
Right.
Like, it's okay. Take accountability for it. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, don't be afraid to say that. Don't be afraid to go to somebody else and say that.
Right, because it's okay to be wrong.
Yes, it's okay to be wrong.
As long as you acknowledge it.
Yeah, my band director used to tell me something. I was a band director, a big one, and I still am.
No,
whenever you play a wrong note, he said, if you're going to play a wrong note, play it boldly. I carry that advice with me to this day.
Well, if you play it wrong 3 times, it's intentional.
Yes. So if you play a wrong note, play it boldly. So that way, not so everybody can hear, but so that way, it's about building confidence. Right? It's about building confidence in knowing that you're human and knowing that you're going to make those mistakes. Doesn't mean you make them again.
Right.
It means that whatever you do it boldly, regardless of what mistakes you make along the way.
Right.
And with that, I would say, make sure that you're the one who's determining what success looks like for you.
Right.
Because, I have a bad habit of, comparing myself to other people in my field, right? And, it's hard to do, especially, when you're talking about, you're on social media a lot, right? You look at the follower count, the engagement, right? You have to determine, what success looks like for you. So right now, it might be just getting your GED or, figuring out what you want to do next and not necessarily looking at someone else and being like,
right,
how come I'm not there?
Yeah.
Right?
And you're competing with yourself, nobody else.
Right.
You're not competing with anybody else. It may seem that way, it may feel that way, but at the end of the day, the only person that you're in competition with is you.
right.
Literally.
I really think that's why I chose to do it now, because I could have did it a long time ago. Because my sister was pressuring me. But I was telling her, you know how I am, But my sister, like growing up, she was like, she barely like. Well, I'm 24. She's 26. She just turned 26. End of November last year. She was like my mother growing up. So that's how it was. Like nobody was never home. She was like my mother growing up. So I always tell her like, I know you're not my mama. You can't tell me what to do. You know, as little sisters do. I'm
6 sisters.
Yeah, little sisters do. I used to tell her that all the time. But she when I got older, I stayed with her, and she was like pressuring me to do it. But you know me, as in basically you raised me. You know I'm not finna do it because you getting on my nerves like a little bug, like a little fly. You know when it buzzes in your ear, and you want to sweat, but every time you turn to hit it, you can't see it. That's how she was. But now she was like, okay, and then we sat down, we talked. I'm like, okay, I want to do it. I'm 24. It's not like I'm finna age out the program, but the youth one I would. But they got an older program too. But I'm like, I'm gonna do it, you know. So, and then we mellow, and we cool now.
I feel like some people are so like intense like that, like do it, because either someone was like that for them and it worked, or they feel that way. They feel it works for them, and so they're like, oh, it works for everybody else.
But that's the other thing, right? Like, struggling is not a competition.
Right.
So, like, just because something seems a lot harder for somebody else doesn't mean that you have to, like, negate your own struggle.
No,
right.
That's what I can see. I like the word negate.
What's the least favorite thing about what you do?
I think that's a question for you, Jordan.
Because I couldn't tell you. He hasn't reached the point.
Oh, man. I think there's a couple of things. I've experienced all of them. I would say one of the least favorite things about what I have to do is, and it's very frustrating, is whenever I have to support the decision to remove a student out of the program.
Oh yeah, I knew that was going to be number one.
I don't know. It's just that doing that never sat well with me. Now, are there times where I have to do it? Yeah, I do, because there are some students, I mean, not 100% of the students make it to the program successfully. Yeah. Sometimes that's because they have other issues going on. Other times it's because of disciplinary issues. Sometimes just because it's not a good fit, regardless. And I do that because going back to what I said is like, your life means more to me than my paycheck at the end of the day.
Right.
A part of that is that whenever you leave here, I know that for some of y'all, this is a last resort. Some of them are not going to know where to go after this. Mm-hmm. So when I have to support the decision for them to leave, it's like, where are you going? I have to trust and I have to have faith that they're still going to make it somewhere. Right? And so that's something that I sometimes will take home with me. Mm-hmm. And so that's I would say that's really difficult because again, I care about everybody that's in these programs.
Right.
So, yeah. Goodness. The other thing is having to discipline staff. Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Then they look at you.
Don't like it at all. Does it have to happen the same way for y'all? Yes, it's not something that I prefer, but again, in the same way, it's like I take care of them. Maybe not in the same way that I want to take care of y'all, but my job is to take care of the people that are in these programs, whether it be a student, whether it be a staff. So if anything like that comes up, then it's like, am I making the right decision?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not too uncommon for someone to like not finish the program or have to drop for whatever reason, and then them come back like a year or two later and be like, okay, now I have to.
We've had that happen a lot, where a student will be dismissed and then they will come back in and they'll say, hey, I'm interested in coming back. Is it possible? Right? The student that I told you about before, that was like, the one that goes out and says like, I saved his life. That was something that he did. Because like he got dismissed because of something that had happened, but then a year later he had called and he was like, "Hey, I'm ready to come back," but he was afraid to.
Yeah.
So, but he did.
Yeah.
Gotta get past your find out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even me, like I think, like maybe 2022, 2023-ish, I tried to join the program and I wasn't in it. I was just like, oh, I want to do this. I want to go out and do this. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do all these things. I don't want to talk to all these people. And then eventually I got to a point in my life where I was like, I don't want to sit in bed all day anymore and sleep and like watch my parents go to work and come home and my sister go to school and come home from school. Like, it's embarrassing, Like I want to do that. So that's why I'm here now.
To me, I was calling it bumming. I was just being a bum. Like, just being a bum. And it was not cute. It's not cute. Like, nah, that's not cute. And I knew if I would have came, I'm really glad I came when I came, because if I would have came any time earlier, I promise y'all, I would have got kicked out.
You would have been.
I'd have been one of them. I would have been one of them students you was been talking about today. I'd have got kicked out. I'd have came back though. Because I do like to complete stuff. I do not like leaving stuff uncompleted.
Yeah, and we have an open door policy where it's like we never, anytime a student gets dismissed, they're never permanently terminated. It's extremely rare that we ever ban a student. I actually don't think that we've ever done that. Like we've told students that they can't come back for an extended period of time. Yeah. But obviously they're always welcome. They're always welcome to come back. So it just depends on the circumstances with which they left.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I am glad that I came when I came, because baby, you even made me back then in the
y'all would have hated me.
I was a little hard to handle.
I think the challenge would have been accepted by the specialists.
I heard what I needed to hear, and I asked what I needed to ask.
There's an ulterior motive there.
Yeah, she did say it like that.
I've heard all I need to hear. What does that mean?
She's gonna use the podcast against us.
No, for real. You said. Whenever comes up where I have to dismiss them, you said you don't like to do this.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for talking today. Mm-hmm. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, but
it was so.
It was fun.
Cool. It actually was. I feel like we actually did some stuff.
Right? Like now I know y'all more.
I'm a little motivated, a little more.
You have been listening to GoodCast, a podcast produced by Goodwill North Central Texas. To stay up to date on all things Goodwill NCT, be sure to check out our social media and sign up for our newsletter. And if you have a second, we'd appreciate it if you could share the show with a friend or leave us a review on iTunes. It is the fastest way to help the show grow. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts.